Silence, slaves!
Be me, 19 years old, gun in a plan, reading the best manga ever, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for the very first time. Balls full of cum, head full of dumb. You just start making that gun joke. That's really bad.
Vaguely heterosexual, and I start reading this certain part. Part 8, the main character has 4 balls and a gap in his teeth, just like I did when I was a little amoeba.
This is the weirdest part of JoJo I've ever seen, mind you. I got to thank you for saving my family's apple orchard.
I didn't save the orchard. Why do you talk like that?
We don't need to get into that. No, we don't. Alright, Bomba Clot, listen, you're part of the family now. So, I'm going to give you the number of my friend. Here's my friend. This man lives in a system of chairlifts on the side of a fucking mountain because it just makes it a little bit easier for him to do his job as a gardener. His stand is named Doggy Style, and let's see, what else is there? What other beautiful things can we say about our buddy Mamezuku? His cheeks is constantly out. I'm gonna make you gay. This man has mother-bearing hips, okay? Hey, what do you think Mamezuku Rai does when it's winter and he can't just sleep on a fucking chairlift in the middle of a goddamn mountain? He goes to his actual home that he has like somewhere else for when it's too cold for him to live like a goddamn homeless person while he's a millionaire. That is insane. By the way, let's explain the tiers here real quick. We got absolute freak, unexplainable. These are the cream of the crop. That's why Mamezuku's there. You can't explain. Here's the thing. I'm not going by like whether it makes you go, huh. What makes someone weird in JoJo is when the world itself is just like, what the fuck do you mean? What? Why? What the hell possessed you? There's a lot of JoJo's characters that I genuinely just don't think are that weird. Because, like, there are people like that, and they're weird in real life, but they're not, like, weird to see in a fucking manga where, like, I didn't even put him on here. Where's Mikitaka? Like, Mikitaka is weird to anyone.
Be me, 19 years old, gun at a plan, curiously bisexual, looking at the love of my life every day. This related to the show. We get an episode called I'm an Alien. Who's an alien? Mikitaka's an alien. They find him in a cornfield. He says he's an alien.
He can't see stands. That could just be a freaking lie. He can transform into anything. He's allergic to fire trucks because he doesn't like. Why are you hanging out with these yahoos?
Because he's an alien.
Why do you wear a school outfit if you're an alien, Mikitaka? Guys, look, this is my mom.
She's not really my mom. I hypnotized her because I'm an alien.
It is never elaborated on or verified whether or not he is an alien.
And you know what? That's for the best. I don't give a fuck.
I think Araki forgot about this and named a different stand Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Or maybe it's because he's an alien.
No, they retconned that. Maybe he's not an alien. I genuinely love Mikitaka so much because he's just a prime example of Araki freaking with people. You know, Araki used to ding-dong ditch his neighbors. And I think he was like 41 or something. Like this was an adult man with a successful manga career. This is why JoJo is like the best piece of artwork. I'm also noticing now a lot of people's heads got cut off. That's fine. Let's start with the person who deserved that. Anasui is the worst JoJo character. He literally threatens Foo Fighters for not getting him together with Jolene.
Listen, you pink skinny fuck. Anyone who threatens baby girl here gets the hammer.
I also just don't like incels. Like, unless they're like Joshu. Joshu's funny. He's just the same idea, but he's like not a cool himbo. He's like a loser that you can kind of laugh at. Foo Fighters, probably one of my favorite characters. She's not actually that weird. Here, join your queen. Cardinal J. Guile. That is not his actual name. J. Guile is legit. I don't know if he belongs there yet. That was kind of on intuition. I'm gonna actually put him down in Cultural Menace. J. Guile, he is just a Skyrim bandit. He is just like, oi, let me fucking fuck up your sister now. Oi, you Jean-Pierre Polnareff, you sound like you sound like some fucking bloody director that made a movie, alright? Like, I'm gonna rape your sister, alright? Him, like, just taking pleasure in the things that he does that are very illegal and horrible. It's kind of, I'm not fucking with it. That's a little fucking weird. He can definitely be in Cultural Menace. That's like above Weird Champ, where it's like this like nice benign weird like Pokemon. It's this weird that's like actively harmful to everyone else. Jouta Kujo is going in Cultural Menace.
Phoebe, 29 years old, a gun plan, you know the drill. Just finished JoJo's Stardust Crusaders. Best anime ever. Fuck. I keep hearing about this little feller named Jouta. What's Jodo, you ask? It sounds a little bit like Jodo. I don't like that. Well, you see, Jodo fulfills a beautiful fantasy for me. Clamp, the studio behind the character designs for Code Geass, as well as many other successful anime and manga. Look at that, that's what they did. Apparently they used to do doujinshi, and they did one for Jojo back in the 90s. And it stars this young, strapping man named Jouta Kujo, who, if you don't know, is the son of Jotaro and his good wife, Kakyoin. And this is set after Stardust Crusader, so you might be wondering how Kakyoin's alive. Don't shut the fuck up. But yeah, apparently their love was so powerful and beautiful that they formed a cum baby in Kakyoin's belly, and he laid an egg. I shit you not. The Code Geass people made Kakyoin lay an egg. This is real. And then he ages super fast so that he can go to school with Josuke. And I remember them implying like some weird romantic tension between the two of them, who are like cousins, I think. So, you know, it's really cool. You should go watch Code Geass. It's
great. See you there.
It's got some great mind
I really
clearly.
did it. I'm so relieved.
In fact, I'd put him above J. Guile, I think. This is just what I'm thinking now. I might change this. Noriaki Kakyoin. Look, his fucking head got cut off. I'm gonna put him as absolute freak explainable for a couple of reasons. He tickles enough freak bones. But the thing is, he in the show doesn't. He in the show is still a freak, but he's probably like a weird champ level freak. But because of fandom culture, this man has evolved into like a pretty nice high school student to a fucking degenerate, a weird menace. I just described to you how one of the fans who made a really popular anime fucking wrote him laying an egg. You wanna know a funny story? I was listening to some media analysis about the original fight with Kakyoin against Jotaro, and they were saying something about Kakyoin like lusting after the teacher. And I just remember thinking like, wait, no, that's not right. Kakyoin's gay. Why the fuck would he do that? It took me a second to remember like, oh, no, he's not. This man is just a different character in the fandom. And he's a, say it, Kendrick. This man licks cherries because he's thinking about Jotaro's. Every time I read through Steel Ball Run and I get to Mrs. Robinson, I bust out laughing. You probably forgot who this character was. I actually hope you did. Mrs. Robinson is a man named Mrs. Robinson for some goddamn reason. He's not a stand user. He is just a man that lived in a Mexican village that got burned down and a bunch of bugs infested his body, so he started using them to attack. Now that is fucking crazy. However, it's explainable. Mrs. Robinson is shown to be kind of this sadistic freak that's kind of manipulative, and like, I think that's kind of realistic. That makes sense. He's got like serial killer mindset. I'm pretty sure this is based in some part on a real story. It's like just on the cusp of anime nonsense and just on the cusp of like real ass, oh, that's why he's weird. That's sad. Cioccolata and Secco. I'm gonna put these guys as weird cool. I almost want to put them in uncool because I kind of like hate what they are. But like, it's cool that Araki made such a realistic character seem so fucking weird.
Me, 24 years old, gun planned, you know the drill. Cioccolata is just a doctor. He's just a really good guy. Now he likes to chop a lot of people up. And that's not good. And he does it for the mafia. And this is Secco, his bottom. And Secco, he was gonna chop up, and then he was like, no, you'd make a better dog. And like, that's pretty cool. That's why he's in the cool category, idiot. Stupid. Dummy. Gaijin. I just called you white. Gringo. I'm gonna take this time to say, by the way, if you felt bad for being white from my last video, just don't. Please, that wasn't the point. And I'm sorry if I made you feel bad. The point was white people are actually cool as fuck. And black people shouldn't be mad for acting white since they live in a white country. But, anyway.
There is definitely a Cioccolata and Secco exactly like these two people. They probably even have Green Day in fucking Oasis. I'm like almost positive I've read like true crime cases about this, but people keeping people in captivity and then raising them to be their like psychotic second in commands is a very real thing. I think that's like pretty well known. The crazy part is that Araki just presented it and like all he did was just give them weird clothes and you're just like, oh yeah, that's fucking nuts. Emporio. I'm putting him in weird champ. A lot of people think Emporio is weird for like wearing a baseball outfit and living in a prison. Yeah, it seems more circumstantial. Apparently, according to the wiki, the reason that he is in this outfit is because Araki found out the Cubs won that year. That actually puts him a little bit above Foo Fighters. Darby, I don't even know. I don't even remember enough about Darby. I'm gonna just put him like uncool. No, okay, he gets weird champ. The thing with Darby that even made me want to put him on here is that he says that funny thing.
There's like a place called Darby around where I live, and I do that every time I see it. So that's really more me being weird. I actually put my face on him. There, that's what Darby is.
President Fitzgerald Funny F. Valentine.
A lot of the weird shit about Funny Valentine, him being named Funny Valentine, him starting out as this fat little piglet, and then turning into this buff, like, Italian goddess, this awful Triforce on his back, that doesn't match the fucking flag that we had back then. These are all very weird and cartoony things, but I think they also play to a facade that he holds up. Funny Valentine is not that weird of a character. He is a narcissistic, psychopathic American patriot. He is an imperialist. He is a representative of the bourgeoisie. He is the kind of person, when I do political videos later, and I tell you, like, these people want to destroy you to build their empire, he is who I'm talking about. Down with Funny Valentine. I do really enjoy him, though. I think he's a fun character. And I think all those weird things are just done to appeal to people more. He's insanely charismatic, and I think it makes him insanely interesting. I think it also very easily explains why he does shit like get the American flag whipped into his back. He probably got like a few lines whipped in and then just etched the other ones in there, that little fucker. He's probably lying. I don't believe him.
Diavolo and his bottom Doppio.
So here's the thing about them. You'd think they would actually be and not actually weird at all, because Diavolo, most of his weird symptoms seem to be from like the mental illness that he has.
Be him, Diavolo, 32 years old with a gun in a shed in the middle of Iowa. Mumsy was in prison when he was born. She'd been in prison for 2 years. That's not how babies work. When he's born, he looks fucking weird. Look at that little. He goes to Sardinia. I mean Iowa. Here, a nice priest, a beautiful, loving Iowa priest who doesn't do anything bad, takes him in. He loves Doppio. Doppio's a good little child. Doppio meets a fine young PYT, a beautiful little sliz to slit into. And then I don't remember, I think he kills her or something. Fuck her. The priest finds his mom under the fucking basement, and he's like, Doppio, why would you do this? And he's like, what? See, Doppio, there's a darkness to Doppio, an evil fucking creature festering within his mind. Taxes. He owes millions to the IRS, and this was the only way to get out of that. It can't charge you if you're in jail. Or even better, in hell. I mean, wait, no, I mean, he has like a separate personality or something. I don't fucking remember.
Except here's the thing. Diavolo's portrayal of dissociative identity disorder is so fucking horrible. That is not how that disease works, okay? I'm not like a perfect expert on it or anything. So here's the thing. I've done a bit of research on DID. I have a character and story that I'm probably going to present on here that has that. I'm familiar with the affliction. I don't think I'm like a perfect resource for it at all, though. I think if you actually want to know, ask a doctor.
Even with that being said, though,
Diavolo does not have DID. He has some weird fucking black magic going on in his head. I don't know what the fuck this is. The main thing that tells me this, DID is typically a response to a repeated trauma that happens during your childhood. From what I understand, basically most people start with like a dissociated identity, like they don't really have like a solid grasp of who they are until they're like, when you're like 8 to 10, that's kind of when you are like, okay, this is who I am, and you kind of miss the window for where you can develop DID. Again, this is based on interviews I've watched. It could be inaccurate. That being said, I do know that like it is always a developed thing. It happens because of dissociation from trauma. Those are things I can say are facts. And if you look at Diavolo's childhood, the worst thing that happened to him, like, he was not old enough to remember, and it happened once. Now, the other thing is that he only has one personality, which is very uncommon. Most people with DID, from what I understand, I'm pretty confident on this, but there's always room for discrepancy. They have like 10. There's probably like 5 main ones, and then there's like a few that are in the back of their head that they like don't really know the names of yet or haven't really gotten to explore yet. And again, it varies from person to person. I'm not an expert. A lot of media does tend to portray like the DID villain with just this one personality, and there's some like Dead Man Wonderland where they at least understand enough that like this person wasn't born evil. They've created this personality as a response to protect them from trauma. There's some like split where they understand that and then go, oh, but wouldn't it be cool if they're still evil? Which is fucking, I hate that so much. People with DID, if you don't know, by the way, people with DID are also very rarely like Diavolo, and this I do know. This I do know from watching interviews with them, because this isn't based on their disease, this is just how they are. It also makes sense because I also know that DID is a response to trauma. They're never gonna flip into some evil fucking monster. That is stupid as hell. It's why he's so like cartoonishly stupid that like this is almost like a different idea than what DID is. People with DID are responding to trauma. They are hiding. They're not going to be aggressive or try to kill you or anything.
anything. In most cases that I've seen, they usually just develop a personality with a bit more of a backbone that can say no to things when they can't. Something like that. It's never like a fighting thing or like a murderous thing. There's no DID. I can say that with like pretty good confidence. There are no DID serial killers. I'm pretty sure. That's just not the nature of the disease. Now, that being said, sorry daddy had to get a little serious there, kid. The character that's made out of this fantasy nonsense disease is fucking hilarious. Doppio is this little high-pitched man that just goes and starts using a frog as a phone to talk to his daddy. That is hilarious. Absolute fucking freak. Doppio is a fucking pants-shitting gremlin that has no idea where he's at, and there's zero reason for it. He's just fucking crazy. Deal. We could put him at cultural menace. I almost want to put him at explainable absolute freak. I fucking love Dio. As much as I will shit on parts 1 through 3, Dio is a brilliant goddamn character. He's hilarious. It's not even any of the, like, the goofy shit that he does, the throwing the road roller. All of that I can attribute to narcissism and trying to one-up people. Those are very real things. The thing that's so fucking crazy about Dio is that he waited in a fucking box with the corpse of a man he hated so he could take his fucking head off of his body for 100 years. And then he proceeded to fuck everything he saw with that body. That is some freak shit. Robertio Speedwagon. Oh, I want to put him up here. I'm not a Speedwagon fan, but like this might satisfy. I'll put him here right here. I'll even put him here. He's pretty high on the freak pole.
Be me, Jonathan Joestar, British, and that's all you need to know.
A dance!
I've been mugged. Oh my god, this big burly man is mugging me. What if I was slightly virtuous? I don't remember shit about part 1. It sucks. Oh my god, sir. Let me put down my gun and my plan. I want to suck your dick and have your babies and raise your babies and love your I'm really obsessed with babies for some reason. That's my character. Come on, Speedwagon. Come on, Speedwagon. We're gonna go fight this vampire. Oh my god, Mr. Joestar, you've been hit. Oh no. Never mind, it was funny.
It might be explainable. I think he's just gay. I think that's why. This is not a freak. This is a simp. Okay, I want to do Usagi next, but in order to do Usagi, we need to build off of honesty, which means we need to build off of Joshu. The thing is, Joshu is the same character, but less violent and fucking hilarious. Because they don't treat him like he's like a good person or anything like they do with Anasui, or like anything that he's doing is noble. And I kind of love him for it. He's fucking disgusting. He's perfect. Is he passing Pokemon? I might let him pass. He honestly, like, he watches Pokemon and he donates to her stream and he sends her death threats, and that's so fucking cool. Usagi, I don't even know if I want to put it in unexplainable. Honestly, Usagi might be at the top of Weird Champ. I love Usagi. So like, if we started at, like, we really started at Speedwagon, but let's ignore that. I don't think Speedwagon and Anasui came from the same brain cell. I think Speedwagon was a happy accident, whereas Anasui was a malicious mistake. In writing these weird simp characters, he started with Anasui, who was a very awful simp, and then he went to
Joshu,
who was a very awful but fucking hilarious simp. And then he made Usagi, who is just a likable simp. I love Usagi. I want him to plow the shit out of Dragona. I think he fucking deserves it. He's kind of adorable. I want him to plow the shit out of Jodio. It's heart. I want them to be best friends. Usagi kind of fucking deserves it. He's just this sweet guy. He's completely fucking brainless, but he means no one no harm. He's just sweet. I love Usagi. Get this boy some coke. Joseph Joestar. I saw people calling Joseph weird, and like, he's just not weird. He's just a fuckboy that like is really good at coming up with solutions to shit. I'm actually putting him at the bottom. He's the least weird character of all of these. Gappy might be the top of absolute freak explainable. I don't know, waiting in the head with the corpse of your boyfriend, that's some real freak shit. Like, Gappy, we kind of get. So here's the thing. What Dio did was insane and happened over 100 years. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, but we can justify that by Dio's just gay. Here's the thing with Gappy. Gappy sleeps under mattresses and has 4 balls. Do you get what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at here? This is an absolute freak. And the thing is, it's not random cartoon. I mean, it is random cartoon nonsense. But the thing is, in world, it makes complete sense. Gappy is 2 boys that loved each other very much and fused into one boy. Don't ask how it works. Their brains are like scrambled together. Of course, there's gonna be some weird nonsense. It's also why he has 4 balls. Basically, one of the boys' pair of balls is just hanging off of the other one. It's fucking great. Gyro ZEPPELLI, I'm more willing to put a cultural menace. I don't know which one of these I think is more of a menace to society. Gyro ZEPPELLI saw a man walking near him and went, "Hey, go kill yourself, you fucker."
He randomly stops with Johnny to tell him about this fucking song he made about pizza mozzarella. Because I guess it was just stuck on his head for so long, and he seems like insecure about it, like he knows that it's bad. But Johnny says that he likes it. Gyro's just like, oh, good, great.
He's really insecure about his middle names being Julius Caesar.
So he goes by Gyro. Like, that is just some weird shit. It's not like weird champ level. It's like, what are you fucking doing?
Kishibe Rohan, I want to put him like on not actually weird.
All artists are like Rohan. Like, I'm literally licking a spider right now editing.
Jean-Pierre Polnareff, I have no idea where to put him. I don't think he's that weird, but he gives me weird vibes.
I don't even think this category really is like not weird characters. It's just like Anasui and then like all the characters that I didn't have a place to put them.
You know what? No. Here's what I'll say. Polnareff's cool and Joseph's cool. I like both of them. Get them out of there. Yoshikage Kira. In Araki's book, he talks about the main point of JoJo being how great humanity is, and that immediately got me thinking, like, what about Kira? The hand fucking serial killer is not a great person. That's the thing. Yes, he fucking is. Did you not read Kira and go like, oh, that guy's great?
This guy is literally just a horror movie villain, but like, he's so cool, they couldn't even make a horror movie out of him, so I had to put him in fucking manga. I think what Kira represents for the series is so beautiful. He provokes this idea that like, you can't trust anyone, yet at the same time, he brings all these virtual strangers together to take him down. And isn't that fucking beautiful?
Josuke Higashikata, he's kind of like Diavolo to me. A lot of people say Josuke's bipolar, and that's not what that is.
Bipolar is more of like a thing that happens like over an extended period of time. Josuke has a trigger word. Josuke freaks out whenever someone mentions anything about his hair, to the point where he turns into a fucking minotaur, like blind to everything, just charging. That's literally how they defeat Rohan.
I think I'll actually put him around like cultural menace. That probably makes the most sense. He's not like a fucking freak of nature. He's just really weird. Probably more weird than Jay Guy.
This is a Skyrim bandit that like only attacks if you say his hair is weird, and other than that, he's actually a really nice guy. So that's the tier list. What do you think? I'm sad to see my boy Mamezuku Rai right there. I always, whenever someone asks how weird JoJo is, I always describe Rai. But now I guess I gotta go into this like weird, angry rant about how most media portrays this disease that I researched for a character wrong, and like the weirdest character in JoJo actually just for no reason acts like a fucking psycho.
We'll make a live voting poll. I want to know what you guys think too. Like, comment, and subscribe. Did I miss anybody? Who do you think is weirder? Why am I stupid for my opinions? Why is Anasui the actual best character? If you say that, you're banned.
Yuffie.
Got him!
Salty dumpy ass Dan. Salty DK dump shit Dan. Salty fucking disgusting disturbing Epstein Dan. Salty filthy venereal disease carrying fucking rat face Dan. Salty rancid fucking odor smelling 32-year-old. Just picked it out of some trucker's asshole Dan. Salty fucking creamy, lice-infected, racist, stupid Dan. Salty, awful, smelly, nasty, barnacle-possessed Dan. That's some good chicken. Salty, listening to Disturbed, banging his head to the... headbanging to Disturbed, listening to Down with the Sickness Dan. Salty, dumpy, immoral, fucking rancid Phantom of the Opera Dan. And you call yourself Derek. Fuck you. Stupid motherfucker. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Ugh. Absolute freak here, so the absolute freak explainable. So some freaks just make sense. Like, some behavior is very sus, but that being said, it's not like insane cartoon nonsense. Cultural menace. These are for the bad guys. The guys we want to lock up in jail. We don't like these guys. Get them off the... You know Starfire from Teen Titans? She's a cultural menace. Tell me that fucking thing doesn't need to be locked up in jail. We'll get to that later. That's a later video. Weird champ. We'll get to that later. That's just self-explanatory, honestly. But we'll get into that a little later. Not actually weird, but cool. Some things just aren't that weird, but cool. Not actually weird, uncool. That's for some nasty motherfuckers. Truly the cream of the crop. The Django Fets in a world of Laura Croft. I don't know what that meant, but that somebody finds that profound.